Okay, but really, who doesn't love online shopping? It's just so easy to find almost anything you could want, and jewelry is no exception. But when it comes to buying jewelry online, there's a lot more to think about than just, finding the right size.
Yeah, it really is different.
Jewelry is more of an investment piece, right? It's something that reflects your style, and hopefully it's something that will last for years to come.
Absolutely. And, that's exactly why we're diving into this guide from jewelrybubble.com today.
Oh, cool.
They put together some really helpful tips for anyone who wants to become a smarter online jewelry shopper. And we're going to break it all down.
I love that. It's like getting a cheat sheet for how to find amazing pieces that you'll love wearing for years.
Exactly. Think of it as a way to build a jewelry collection that you can even, pass down someday.
Oh, I love that.
And, one of the most important things the guide stresses is that you need to understand the materials before you even click buy.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's easy to just get caught up in a pretty picture, but knowing what you're actually getting is crucial.
Yeah, I know I've definitely been burned before buying something online that looked incredible in the picture, but then when I got it, it just wasn't the same.
It happens.
Yeah.
And that's why the guide spends a lot of time talking about the difference between things like, gold tone versus solid gold. Gold tone jewelry can be super stylish and really affordable, but it's not going to last forever.
So if I'm looking for a piece that will, last a long time, the guide recommends going for solid gold, ideally 14 karat or higher.
Exactly. Instead of buying a bunch of gold tone pieces that might, tarnish or wear down over time, put that money toward a beautiful piece of solid gold that you can wear for years.
It's like quality over quantity, right?
Right.
Now, the guide also mentions gold-filled, gold-plated, and vermeil. Can you explain what those are and why they're not the best for long-term investment?
Sure. Gold-filled pieces have a thicker layer of gold on them than gold plating, but it's still not solid gold. Vermeil is like gold plating, but it's over sterling silver, so it's a step up from just regular gold plating. But it can still tarnish over time.
So solid gold is the best choice if you want something that will really last. What about crystals and pearls? The guide emphasizes that quality matters there too.
Oh yeah, definitely. When it comes to crystals, you want to make sure that they're set securely so the stones won't fall out. A good quality crystal will have a consistent sparkle, and that comes from clean facets that catch the light.
So it's not just about the size or color of the crystal, but the way it's cut and how well it's set.
Yes, exactly. And pearls are all about that smooth surface and luster. You don't want any imperfections or blemishes. And since pearls are a bit more delicate and porous, they need special care.
The guide mentions keeping pearls away from perfumes and chemicals, right?
Yes. Think of it as protecting your investment.
That makes sense. You don't want anything harsh damaging them.
Speaking of keeping your jewelry looking its best, the guide also talks about choosing the right jewelry for different occasions, which we'll dive into more a little bit later.
So before we got sidetracked, we were talking about how to choose the right jewelry for different occasions.
All right.
And it makes sense. A huge statement necklace probably isn't the best look for a board meeting.
No, probably not.
Hmm.
For work or professional settings, it's best to stick with subtle pieces. Like classic studs or a delicate necklace, a simple bracelet.
That makes sense. You want to project a professional image, not have your jeweler distracting anyone.
Exactly. But then when you're getting dressed up for a wedding or a gala, that's your chance to have fun with statement pieces.
Okay, so I should save my chandelier earrings for a night out dancing, not the office.
Yeah. For those kinds of occasions, think bolder designs, bigger gemstones, maybe even some vintage pieces if you like that kind of style.
So you can let your personality really shine.
Yeah. But then what about everyday wear, just running errands or meeting friends for coffee?
Like what I can throw on and feel good in no matter what I'm doing.
Right. For everyday wear, focus on comfort and durability. Choose pieces that you like, of course, but they can also handle everyday life.
I know I have some pieces that I'm more careful with, like if they're delicate or have sentimental value, but it's good to have a few pieces you don't have to worry about as much.
Exactly. And speaking of finding pieces you love, the guide also talks about building a versatile jewelry wardrobe.
Oh, I like that idea. Being able to mix and match is always a good thing. Where do they suggest we start? What are the must-have essentials?
Well, they recommend starting with a few key pieces that you can mix and match with different outfits, kind of like building a foundation for your jewelry wardrobe.
Okay, give me the essentials.
First, a pair of classic stud earrings. They go with almost anything.
Oh, yeah, they do. And they can be as simple or as sparkly as you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next, a pendant necklace. It can be a simple chain or something a bit fancier.
And of course, a simple bracelet, a chain or a cuff, something that can be dressed up or down.
Yep, those three pieces, stud earrings, a pendant necklace, and a simple bracelet, make a great base for any jewelry collection.
It's like having a capsule wardrobe, but for your jewelry.
Right. And once you've got those core pieces, then you can start branching out with some more unique pieces.
So what kinds of pieces would you suggest for that?
Well, it really comes down to your personal style. You might be drawn to bold rings, or maybe you prefer layered necklaces. It's really about finding what makes you feel confident.
And they even suggest rotating your jewelry seasonally like you would with your clothes.
It's a good way to keep your look fresh. Lighter pieces for spring and summer, and then richer colors and textures for fall and winter.
That's a really cool idea. I hadn't even thought about doing that before.
Give it a try. Now let's get to the most important part, investing wisely.
Okay, so let's talk about investing wisely when it comes to buying jewelry online. I think a lot of people hear the word investment, and they think they have to spend a ton of money.
You know, that's not necessarily true. The idea behind investing wisely, at least according to this guide, is to make choices that will last, both in terms of style and in terms of how long the pieces will actually hold up.
So it's not about just buying whatever's trendy. It's about choosing pieces you'll still love to wear years from now.
Exactly. And, remember those quatrefoil designs we talked about? Well, the guide points out that classic motifs like that tend to last longer because they're not so tied to what's trendy right now.
So it's about finding pieces that are both stylish and kind of timeless.
Yeah, and the guide really stresses the importance of the materials, too.
That makes sense because if you buy a piece made with really high quality materials, it's going to last longer and it'll probably be a better value in the long run than buying a bunch of cheaper pieces that might fall apart.
Exactly. And let's be honest, no one wants to deal with a piece of jewelry breaking, especially if it has sentimental value.
Oh, definitely not. So it sounds like it's about thinking long term and being a bit of a detective when you're shopping online.
I think that's a great way to put it. Look closely at the product descriptions and photos. Are the clasps sturdy? Are the stones set securely? It can make a big difference.
So it's not just about the initial look of the piece, it's about how well it's actually made. But one of the biggest takeaways for me from this whole guide is just realizing that jewelry is so much more than just like an accessory.
It really is.
It's a way to express yourself.
It's almost like telling a story. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
maybe you have a collection of vintage brooches that belong to your grandmother or a pendant that reminds you of a special trip. Those pieces become part of your personal history.
Absolutely. And that's why I think the guide emphasizes the importance of building your collection over time and being thoughtful about the pieces you choose. It shouldn't feel random. It should feel personal.
So it's not about having a complete jewelry collection right away. It's about finding pieces that speak to you.
Right. And as you change and experience new things, your jewelry can reflect that journey.
And that ties into the guide's main message, which is about confidence, right?
Yeah.
Feeling good about yourself and expressing yourself authentically.
Exactly. And I think this guide has given us some really good tools to help us do that. By understanding materials, exploring different styles, and just thinking about the value of the pieces we choose, we can put together a collection that makes us feel amazing.
Absolutely. Well, I think that wraps up our deep dive into online jewelry shopping.
Yeah.
We covered a lot, from the details of materials and how jewelry's made to the more meaningful side of what jewelry can represent.
I hope everyone feels a little more confident about shopping for jewelry online now.
Me too! So next time you're looking for that perfect piece, remember everything we talked about today. Be a smart shopper, find pieces that you truly love, and let your own unique style shine. Thanks for joining us.